Hi, I'm Steve Hargis with the services organization here at Extreme Networks, and I'm here today with Bill Lundgren in our product management organization. Today, Bill and I are excited to share some incredible innovation that Extreme is doing with machine learning and artificial intelligence, and how this innovation is driving the next generation of our services and customer experience. So let's walk through a few questions to ponder while we talk about this innovative technology. So what if the cloud could understand when a network path isn't performing optimally and let us know that this could be ultimately creating a significant problem impacting the business? And what if the cloud could tell us when power over Ethernet might be operating in a manner that could harm connected downstream access points? And how valuable would it be if the cloud had the intelligence to predict a future network problem, giving technical experts critical information to know exactly where to take action and prevent a major issue before it ever happens? Well, all of these what ifs are real. With Extreme Cloud IQ and our latest innovations in ML and AI driven analytics, we are ready to deliver the reality of proactive anomaly detection and help customers with mitigating issues before there's an impact to their business. So how did we make this a reality? Well, Bill Lundgren, an expert in our machine learning and artificial intelligence here at Extreme, is here with us today to help explain. Take it away, Bill.
Thanks, Steve. Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Lundgren, and I'm the Director of Product Management for Cloud Operations and Architecture here at Extreme Networks. My group is responsible for pretty much everything that we do with Cloud IQ from an architecture and operations standpoint. What we're going to take a few minutes to do is talk about machine learning and artificial intelligence and what the differences are between those terms. Many times what you will hear often with these two terms is they're combined together, where you'll see ML/AI. But in fact, and often we're grouping them together, but in fact they are two completely separate terms. Machine learning, if you want to think about how something like a robotic vacuum cleaner works, uses data that it collects and then will take that data and use it to adapt and alter an already pre-programmed behavior. So in the example of a robotic vacuum cleaner that many of you may have in your own homes or have seen operate, when these are plugged in initially and they leave their docking station, they tend to, on the very first use, bounce around the room aimlessly. It's quite fun to actually watch them work because they'll shoot off in one direction, bounce against something, shoot off in another direction, bounce against something. Eventually, it completely cleans the room, but initially that operation can take some time. What's actually happening in the back end of a device like that is if you think about it from the perspective of the vacuum cleaner, it's leaving an unknown location and entering an unknown room. It's then turning and moving and then measuring exactly how many degrees it turned, how far it went before it bumped into something. After it completes all of this bumping around in the room and then completes its vacuuming process, what it allows it to do is once it goes back to that docking station, by plotting every place it bumped into and by computing all of that data, it's able to learn what that room looks like. Much like you would do if you gave it a picture, it's just evolving that picture from actually running into things. This is true machine learning because on the next vacuum and on subsequent vacuuming jobs, as things in the room change and as you may move some furniture around, the device is able to ascertain, hey, that's different in a different location, or it knows that this wasn't here before, and it can make very intelligent decisions as it moves throughout the room on how to more expediently vacuum your living room, dining room, or wherever you have this thing placed. That's kind of what we're doing with machine learning in the information technology world, is we're giving it boundaries of things to look at, but by consuming data and looking at the data, we're able to make more intelligent decisions and adapt those processes. Now, artificial intelligence, on the other hand, is something that evolves from true learned behavior. If we want to look at how this is evolving in the industry today, one of the best examples of it is Tesla. If any of you have a Tesla automobile or have seen one operate, especially if you've ever seen their autopilot mechanism operate, the device, even when it's not driving the car, Tesla actually collects tons of information about the driver while the car is in motion. They're collecting data from cameras, they're collecting information on driving speed, braking action, steering controls, and feeding that into large databases. Why? Because cars don't inherently know how to drive, and neither does a computer. In order to understand, if you think it from a picture of a perspective of a car, if a round object suddenly appears in front, bouncing in front of the car, it doesn't know that that's a ball. But what we can learn from that by collecting data is not only from a forward camera picture, we can take pictures of what a ball looks like, but we can also look at what the driving behavior was. The vehicle rapidly decelerated. The driver immediately applied braking, came to a stop. Once that ball left the frame, the driver then slowly proceeded forward. A car can use that data, and Tesla uses that data to basically teach a car what a ball is and how the driver should react when something like that appears in front of it. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence, is the ability to take data learned from machine learning, to be able to take data learned from pools of information in processes like deep learning and start deriving new information about that data. Where machine learning is simply going to enhance a process, artificial intelligence is going to evolve new processes, new ways of looking at data, and understanding more about what the environment is doing than you'll ever be able to do even if you were staring at that data. The key to all of this is collecting large duration data pools and being able to look at data over time. So the shorter amount of data that we collect, especially when we're looking at artificial intelligence, can drastically affect the result of that learned data. This is kind of a murder mystery scenario where the butler always did it. If you only collect enough data and just a small amount of data, you may always draw that conclusion. But if we have a more fuller picture of the situation and are able to take a step back and collect data over time, we may develop a more holistic idea that, well, maybe it wasn't the butler. And that's kind of the idea behind long-term data duration. What you run into is this idea of a causality conundrum, where we assume that because of something happening with X, Y event occurs. And that can lead to false network positives on an environment where you're not able to compare data over time. For instance, things like seasonal changes in customer shopping habits, for instance, especially if you're in retail, that every November there might be very huge network spikes that create network load. A standard small subset of data may not be able to realize that, yes, every November and December timeframe, this event happens. So we probably don't need to sound certain alarms just because we see a momentary short-term network spike. Long-term data means more accurate learning. The more data we have over time, the more we can draw accurate conclusions to be able to determine what truly is the problem and not lead you off on wild goose chases. So with what we've done with Extreme Cloud IQ is giving you the industry's first unlimited pool of data. As long as you are a customer of Extreme Cloud IQ, you will be able to optionally opt in to keeping your data forever. Many of the competition only gives you 30 days. In that 30-day time frame, you can miss a lot of very important historical trends. With Extreme Cloud IQ, because we're looking at data collected from over 1 million connected devices worldwide in the cloud. We're looking at 2 million plus clients connected per day. And all of those 2 million clients connected to 1 million access points are generating over 3 petabytes of data a day that we process and analyze at the edge and send those summary statistics back to Extreme Cloud IQ about what was a user attempting to do? How much data were they sending? What was their quality of experience? Operating system information about those devices. And all of that connected over time gives us the ability to have true insight into anomalous client behavior, anomalous network behavior, and point you in the right direction so that problems can be determined before they become network impacting. Now, when you start collecting all of this data, and you start trusting your data to a cloud provider where you're not able to protect it in your own data center, security becomes hugely important in protecting that data and being able to guarantee that your data is truly your data. So as we look towards collecting all this data and securing it, it's important that we start looking at how Cloud IQ protects that data. First of all, we are an ISO 27001 secured solution. Extreme Cloud IQ is the industry's first network management solution, and we have been for over 2 years. That is ISO 27001 audited and certified. We have an ISMS, which is an incident or information security management system in place that is fully audited and assessed. To couple with that and to give us even more security, later this year, we will be announcing and we will be certifying that we are ISO 27017 and 27701 compliant as well, and audited and certified. That will be complete around the January 2021 timeframe, so that you can be assured that we have the cloud certifications that you require to protect your data, as well as ISO 27701 is the data privacy standard. So if you are governed by GDPR or CCSA or any of these other security and data privacy acts that are being done by varying countries or other states even within the US, we will be able to assure you that your data privacy and the privacy of the devices and your customers and anyone even walking by is protected by Extreme Cloud IQ. We also are going to be certifying as CSA, which is the Cloud Security Alliance, Star Level 1 for Extreme Cloud IQ. So that will also give you comfort that we're compliant with all of the industry best practices for storage of data, especially when we're talking about unlimited data storage. And then to even give you more assurance, as if the ISO standards weren't enough, we are going to be implementing SOC 2. So Extreme Cloud IQ, by fall of 2021, we've already begun the process to get this completed, but we will have a SOC 2 assessment on the application itself, which is going to give you third-party assurance that not only do we have those ISO standards in place, but that we're obeying them and that we're doing everything we can to protect your data as we develop all of these information awareness collected and used by our ML and AI engines. And Steve, back to you to explain how we're actually using this data and what the customers can see moving forward with our AI and ML implementations.
Thanks, Bill. So how does all of this innovation make a difference for you? Well, it allows us to deliver a new services experience, one that moves beyond traditional reactive troubleshooting and device support. Let's talk about assurance services. Assurance services build upon the traditional product support and maintenance. They bring together the innovation of ML, AI-driven network analytics, and rich technical experience to deliver the best possible support for dealing with network problems when they're happening, and helping detect and fix network anomalies before a problem has even occurred. So moving forward, Extreme will continue to offer the foundational basic services that are integrated with our products. Support basics like lifetime product warranties, access to updated product features, and hardware replacement options. We will continue to exceed expectations with our premium services, including our industry-leading technical assistance and our ability to deliver meaningful business outcomes with our professional services and high-touch support engagements. And now we are adding a new tier of experience with our assurance services that will advance our technical support even more. With assurance services, we will leverage ML, AI-driven analytics, and the industry's best technical experts in our TAC organization to deliver proactive anomaly detection and provide you with the information you need to best manage your network. So when will all of this happen? Well, it's starting right now. We are super excited to introduce the initial deliverable of our assurance services with the Extreme Cloud IQ Copilot data that starts today. If you are using Extreme Cloud IQ today, you may have already seen a notification about the Copilot beta in your console. And Copilot is an experience that brings together our ML AI-driven anomaly detection with our industry-leading TAC engineers to determine if support engagement could be helpful in mitigating potential business impacting issues with the network. When our ML AI technology detects a specific anomaly, our TAC engineers will review the anomaly, determine if a support case should be open, and then they'll reach out proactively to you to help with actions and recommendations to remove the anomaly and prevent a future network problem. To begin, Copilot will be scanning Extreme Cloud with a few number of anomalies and use cases to detect anomalies, and we will use a DevOps orientation to add more use cases and increase our anomaly detection capabilities. So if you're looking for a better assurance that your network is operating at its best and a business partner who will help you resolve network issues before they can adversely impact your business, Extreme can deliver. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in finding out more about the technical ins and outs of the Copilot anomaly detection, you can find a session on the IT Warriors channel that will dive into that technology. We hope that you are as excited about Copilot as we are, and we look forward to continuing this journey with you as we drive towards the next generation of services and customer experience. Thanks for attending our session, and Bill and I hope you enjoy the rest of Extreme Connect 2020.